Maddie, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If I look different today, it's because I'm not wearing any makeup whatsoever. I did not have time to put on makeup today, which is so unusual because in every video I wear makeup. I just didn't have time today, so look, we're just going for the natural look today. So anyway, today I will be doing my wrap up for May. In total, I read a total of 6 books, which is pretty good in comparison of how I've been reading lately, how many books I've been reading in the past months. That is really good. So let's just get into what I read. First book I read in May was The Brilliant Light of Amber Sunrise by Matthew Crowe. I enjoyed this book to an extent. It wasn't the best, but I still liked it. This book is about a boy who is about 15 years old. His name is Francis, and he discovers that he has cancer. So he ends up having to spend a few days in the hospital for like checkups and all that, and there he meets another girl who also has cancer named Amber, and it's basically just their whole love story. I do have a review of this coming up pretty soon, which I'll go into more depth about what I felt about it. But in total, like in my condensed thoughts, I thought it was an okay book. I did not love it. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, but there were still parts in it that it just had the romance and fluffiness that I absolutely love. So I appreciate it for that. The main problem I had with this book is the pacing. It was very slow in the beginning, so I was kind of like, I wasn't getting any excitement from it. But as the story progressed and towards the end, I got really into it. So it was good overall, and one I would recommend to contemporary lovers for sure. The next book I read is my favorite book I read this month, and that is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I only have the dust jacket because I lent it out to my mom. I did do a review on this, so I'll link it in the eye or somewhere. Like I said, just loved this book. I think it's up there with one of my favorite books I've read this year, and it is probably in the first place for my favorite book I read this year, actually. This is a fantasy kind of dystopian book about a girl named Mare, and she lives in this world where there are people with silver blood and red blood. The silver bloods are the people who are just the rich and the royalty, and the red bloods are people just like us, and they're just super poor. They're normal. They only have red blood like we do. And so Mare ends up working in the castle for like the king, the queen, and the princes. And during her time there, she discovers, and this is not a spoiler because it's in the description, she finds out that she actually has power. The silver bloods in this world have special powers, but red bloods do not. But for some reason, she has powers, and so this is just her story having to be thrust into the world of the silvers because she has powers. It is so good, just so good. It has a lot of action, some romance, just everything I love in a book it just had, and I loved it so much. It is definitely one I'll have to reread in time to come, and I just cannot wait to read out the rest of this series and just see what happens. And of course, I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. Next, I finally read a book that I've been meaning to read for so long, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I'm so glad I finally got to this book. It was about time already. I'm sure most of you already know what this book is about because it's so popular. But this book is about a girl named Selena, and she is an assassin, and she is thrust into the world of slavery. She's been a slave for the longest time, and then she gets an offer to compete in this competition for the king, and in exchange for working for the king for 4 years, the winner of this competition will gain their freedom. I really love this book. I love the main character Selena so much. I feel like I just love Sarah J. Maas's characters. I love her main characters. I love Selena. I love Feyre in A Court of Thorns and Roses. She just has the perfect, amazing characters. I just love them. And I just cannot wait to read the rest of the series. I don't know when I'm going to get back to it because I have so many other books I'm reading right now. But I am so looking forward to finishing this series out, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Queen's Song, and this is a novella to Red Queen. This novella is told in the story of the king's first queen who had died. I say it was a good insight to the queen who we didn't get to know much about in Red Queen. I really actually did not enjoy this novella. I just felt like it shouldn't have been a novella. I felt like it should have been just another book because there were so many details that I felt were missing. Like there wasn't enough details for me, and I overall felt like it was kind of confusing actually. And I don't know, it was just a very disappointing book, and it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth for novellas because this is actually the first novella I have ever read, and now I'm just like, will I ever read a novella again, because I just did not like that one. Like, I feel now that novellas don't give enough detail for me. I don't know, but anyway, I was disappointed by this one, really. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars, and I had started the second novella, which is Steel Scars, and I DNF'd it because I'm like, I'm not into it. Maybe I'm just not into novellas. I'm not sure, but yeah, that one was a disappointment. Next, I got to Glass Sword, and this is the sequel to Red Queen. This book was kind of a disappointment for me. I did not love it as much as I loved Red Queen. I wish I had loved it as much as Red Queen because I really do love this series, but it didn't live up to my expectations. Yet, there were still parts of it that I did love, and I just love this series. I just love it. Even though I did not love this as much as I loved Red Queen, it was a series worth reading. And I am looking forward to those 2 other books that are coming out. I cannot believe it's going to be 4 books coming out. So exciting. But I gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars because, yeah, I did have some problems with it. But I would recommend, if you have read Red Queen, to continue on with the series because it is worth reading for sure. And the last book I read, and this is one I finished just last night, is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I wanted to read this one as soon as possible because the movie is coming out like in 2 weeks, so I want to read the book before I see the movie for sure. And I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I find now that I love adult books, even though I'm kind of like a little young for adult books, but I just love them, and I love this book. Of course, there were a few things that I didn't like about it, but overall, I really just loved it. This book is about a girl named Louisa, and she ends up losing her job, so she has to look for another job, and she lands a job as a caregiver for this man who is 35 years old, whose name is Will. And Will is someone who doesn't really find a reason to live anymore because he is paralyzed from the neck down. And so throughout this book, Louisa is just trying to find ways to make Will just want to keep living. And it is so cute, it is so romantic, and the romance in it is so like slow burn. I absolutely loved. We didn't have any insta love in it, which is great. It was really good. The only reason I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars is because of something about the ending, which I won't say because it's a spoiler. But overall, I just loved it. I really did, and I did get a little teary in it, so it's a really good one, and I would recommend for those of you who like adult books or contemporary books. It is really good. So those were the books I read in May. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know below the books you read in May, and I would love to know. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll be back very soon. Bye!